Robotics was founded two and a half years ago. We're 150 people and growing. We have 3 facilities, 2 in Israel in Petah Tikva and 1 in Australia, in West Australia. We've raised $61 million to date. This is with the last announcement of last week, $32.5 million, led by Blue Run Ventures China with our crowd, as well as Microsoft Ventures. Let me show you through the market offering of the commercial drone space, the market that we operate in. So there are 2 very common business models in this space. The first one is piloted drone services, where you have a drone company coming over to your business, providing different types of applications with drones, depending on what you need, whether it's cinematography or inspection or mapping. And you pay them by the day, the week, or the project, depending on what it is you need. They give you the data in the end of the day. The second very common model is already setting up your own in-house operation for drones. Inside the company, you'll have your own fleet of equipment. You'll hire the people. You'll train the, where's it going? You'll train the certified pilots. That's another logistic expense. And these 2 models, they both rely on humans to operate the drones. Remember that. Now, if you look at humans operating drones, which is something we've done before, our previous company used to be a drone services company, we saw that it's not scalable. There is a problem with these models. And so what is the problem, or what are the problems of operating drones with human operators? Well, firstly, it's quite expensive and not cost-effective over time to hire a drone services company to come and provide services or to set up your own in-house operation of drones. This costs a lot of money. Secondly, you can't get accurate results when you operate a drone manually. You may be able to repeat a mission accurately once or twice with the best pilot you have, but a computer system can do it accurately time after time. Now, thirdly, people are not always available when you need them. Maybe in Israel they're more available, but in other places they don't work all the time. And so it's really hard to get the people to be out there, take the drone, especially when you have emergencies like a fire in your factory or something like that. You have to take the drone, set it up, launch it, and get a live feed of what's going on. And you rely on people to do that, and availability is a critical factor here. The second problem is that drones started as toys, and as such, they're not very reliable. We needed to find a way to transform them from toys into industrial-grade tools. So at Robotics, we set up the mission of creating a platform, a drone platform that will be completely self-sufficient, will be completely automatic, will not rely on any human to operate it. It will be permanently on site, so it's always available when you need it, and hopefully it will become the most efficient tool on the premise. The vision was, let's create a drone inside a box. That box will take care of everything the drone needs. It will replace the drone batteries after a flight. It will replace the different cameras. It will shelter it from the environment and the weather. It will launch it for a mission. It will accept it back. Let's take a look at a video of what we have created. Thank you. And so essentially, Robotics introduced a third business model into this market, one that does not rely on any human to operate it. Everything is completely robotic. The system is comprised of the airbase, which is a large docking station, weighs 3 tons, has a robotic arm inside to swap the batteries and the cameras, a mast for the GPS station and the weather station. The drone is a big, rugged drone, 8 kilos, carrying different types of sensors and cameras on it, and then the software analyzing the data that's coming from the drone and manages the different mission, like the operating system. These are the markets that we operate in. Specifically, we made our first successes already in the mining industry, in Israel as well as in Australia. And Homeland Security is another vertical that we've recently announced now last week that we're going into. Seaports is another very interesting site that we are visiting and we will continue to visit in the future. So for the past 2.5 years, 100 plus very talented engineers and employees have been working on creating this solution from scratch. Nothing existed before, so we're building the actual facility, we're building the drones, we're building the batteries, we're building the different components, the PCBs inside the board, inside the drone, the robotic arm, the docking station. We invented everything. The automation cycle is quite simple. So the first step is just that pit stop to replace the batteries and replace the cameras. The drone then launches, flies around 3.5 kilometers around the docking station for half an hour, lands back in the docking station, and then all over again. And that's a completely automated cycle. This is our core innovation, what happens inside the docking station. The robotic arm is replacing a battery and replacing a camera. That takes a few minutes instead of a few hours to charge. It charges then on the shelf. And this is just one of the innovations we came up with. We did a lot more that we patented. These are our customers. So we work with ICL and Intel for the past 1.5 years in Israel. They were our first customers. And South 32 is a mine in West Australia. We have 3 other customers that we haven't announced yet. We will announce them very soon. So stay tuned for that. This is what it looks like in the different sites when we have our system deployed and working. And this is our test facility, which we've built with our bare hands. We had to build that place in order to test the components that we've built, but also to test the system as a whole and emulate an environment like our customers. And that's what really allowed us to receive the certification from the Civil Aviation Authority in Israel to fly commercial drones without a human pilot. And that's a precedence. That's the first time in the world that a Civil Aviation Authority has allowed a company to operate drones without a human pilot in command. That's real innovation. And so in terms of regulation, we're making very important steps. The first one was in Israel, and hopefully now the next ones in Australia and in the US. This is what our test facility looks like. Not over yet. Thank you. Let's take a look into the future. So what we're doing right now is working mostly in industrial facilities. We're performing applications like inspection, mapping, surveying, security, where the air bases are around the facility and performing all those missions on demand or pre-scheduled. We're also expanding into Homeland Security, where we see the drone can provide real value in cases like disaster management, safety supervision, border surveillance, etc. And the next step, which we are going into as well, we've announced that we're starting a new initiative called the Robotics Safe Cities, is we see those drone systems deployed in cities. Imagine those air bases around rooftops around the city, where they can provide real value for emergency search and rescue forces. Things like transplant delivery, things like fire and rescue. Imagine there's a fire and you need real help really fast. The drone can be there before the firefighters are there, starting to give a live feed of what's going on to the fire truck before it even comes there. There are a lot of very valuable applications that we can do in cities, and we see that that's the next step that we're going to go into. Regulation is going to be challenging, but we're up for it. We've logged so far more than 40,000 hours of automated flights, so we're definitely safe and secure enough. We just now have to work hand in hand with the regulators in order to do that. Next step, which may or may not happen in the next 5+ years, is to deploy those automated drone systems in cities for everyday commercial use. Now, that really depends on whether people will want it, to have things flying around their head, and whether the regulator will allow it. Now, imagine you go to one of those air bases based on a rooftop, swipe your credit card, put a package in, let the drone go somewhere, wait with the video, and off you go. Or you can do that from an app. You can use this for real estate, for surveillance, for delivery, of course, for any type of emergency service. So that's the future. Hopefully we will be there, and once this is allowed, we will definitely be ready. Let's take a look at a last short video of what that future looks like.